Who likes applesauce? That's what today's show is about, applesauce. There's different kind of flavors. There's a red flavor, there's a green flavor, there's a purple flavor. That is it. A new applesauce that you guys can go to by going to, no, I don't have an applesauce sponsor. There's no, that is complete nonsense. Why? Because that's the mood I'm in today, folks. Let's talk about it. What are we going to talk about? Superman suit. Great transition from applesauce. And then we'll move into X-Men because you think applesauce is crazy? So is the finale, almost finale, second part of the finale. That's what's happening. No, I didn't have an Athletic Greens. I didn't have anything this morning. I didn't even have a bit of coffee. That's a lie. I definitely had some coffee. And I might even want to do some of the magic mind because I didn't do that yet. Did I do it? I didn't. Coy didn't ask for any of that either. Should I give him one? I'm going to give him one. He didn't ask. And we didn't make him any coffee because I wasn't about to go into the house because my wife is sleeping. She was up real late. So that's what we're talking about here today. Absolute. Everything going on in your brain, just say it. Don't do that. You can get canceled on Twitter. So what else are we talking about besides just that? X-Men, Superman, Spiderman, everything that happens in the comic book world. That's right. And we're also going to do a full deep dive on Citizen Kane today. That has nothing to do with that at all. That's not, they're going to do a new rendition of Citizen Kane, but they're going to do it in Marvel. So absolutely a lie. Thanks for joining us here today on the show. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Why would you do that? Because you hear more diatribes just like that one. I don't want to hear a diatribe, but don't subscribe to the channel. What can I tell you? So thanks for joining us on the show here today. I appreciate it. Once again, I just said that. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere podcasts are found. Hit that button, do the subscribe thing. Another thing that I just said. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Movie Trivia Schmodown. And I'm ready. You're ready. Let's do it.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger.
Good. Welcome back to Sith Council, the show that is no longer on the air. Here today, Coy Jandro, Winston A. Marshall.
Did you smoke crack before this?
Is this what it's like when I have energy and you just like...
I'm just used to you being this person.
I've never been more tired than Kristian, so I feel like this is what it's like to watch.
I think the other thing about it is that coming from you, I don't know why, it's coming from Kristian, that was terrifying.
I think it's because it's my standard operating procedure, and he's usually like, you know, somewhat restrained.
I think if once AI is you know, more terrifying than it is already, someone will actually put the Joker sitting there saying everything that I just said,
and it's over.
And it'll
make sense.
It'll work.
It'll track.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
You know, I need a magic mind for sure. If I know that's the bar you've set, if that's the standard at which we're operating today, because he didn't offer coffee, and when he doesn't offer, I don't ask. But if this is the bar.
You need one too? Oh, sure.
Apparently.
All right, well, you stole the last one.
Oh, what a gift. What a kindness. Did you have coffee? I didn't have coffee.
I'm okay.
I do have more. Coy, don't stop talking. It's the one time I need you to...
Oh, well, look at me. You know, sis, I'm off my game. I need my magic mind to get on my game. I'm actually really excited about this because the man is hunting him down.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It's happening.
Anyway, we do have a lot to talk about, and I am caught up to X-Men 97. I caught all the way up. I saw everything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that. Let's just do this first. X-Men 97. This is the second part of the finale.
Or as Mark Baby Carrot Sellis would say, the penultimate.
The penultimate episode.
Yeah, it is. And so, yeah, like I said, I've caught up on this one. And so far, absolutely love this series. The only thing, I mean, even I told you guys, like, I didn't love the Xavier in space one. Like, him in the classroom with everyone else. This is fine. But it did set up ultimately what he wanted to do, his mission in general. And by the way, so we'll warn people that we're going to cover some spoilers here. So hold on to your butts. But otherwise, really great. And I think that the fact that it does show the essence of the X-Men stuff, even stuff that they carried in. I loved the reference to the movie, the first X-Men movie.
Such a good joke.
About
the reversal in the black leather.
And
then it was still Cyclops saying it.
It was perfect. It was like multiverse. That is ultimate multiverse stuff, and it was great.
Y'all gotta follow me on my YouTube. I was out here talking about this. I done made shorts about it, everything, man. Y'all gotta come and see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm cooking. I'm cooking, goddammit.
Well, so we have, don't worry, we can plug his stuff there, and then when we talk about the Superman suit, we'll plug your show. But
follow us on YouTube.
I know. It's like just a pure
just
desperation.
in the middle of a place. Dear God, Kristian's moving and we're scared.
No, that's that whole thing, by the way. We're going, to set up the studio next week, and I talked about yesterday. The New York wish list, somebody got us a really nice gift on that wish list, and people have been getting stuff, and Brett and I got some stuff off of it ourselves, and we're going to be setting that up, and we're going to do like a blog to set it up also. So we're excited. I
love that. That's great.
But anyway, we watched. We all watched X-Men '97, and I think that it's set up so well where they kind of put Magneto where he was. Because I thought he was kind of brainwashed or something, right? But he's not. No, he's just pissed off.
And like I think he's been wronged long enough that he's in a justifiable position. Like the Magneto was right. I think is really well handled here because at this point I don't agree with Xavier nearly at all. Like, and humans are the ones that he's trying to save. I'm like, we've had a run.
It's to me, that's why I was shocked that you didn't like the space episode so much, because it is absolutely vital to see that it wasn't just like Xavier, he almost died. He can only really live with the Shi'ar at this point, just to like whatever. It's that homie straight up was like getting married, gonna rule the Shi'ar Empire, and essentially to do that would have to fully abandon his people, which he essentially did. And when he did it, the world was not in a peaceful place where it was like, yep, we accept mutants now, you're good to go. It was still teetering and has gone full DEFCON 5.
And had gotten better for a moment, making it even worse. Because they'd adjusted a little.
Right. But for him to then come back and be like, nah, y'all, we can't be doing this. Yeah. I would not blame a single mutant to be like, if you don't shut your... Like, what are you doing? Bro, Rogue roasted the hell out of all the X-Men.
None of you were there.
She goes, your ass wasn't there, let Remy die, so you shut your ass up. Who gonna be next? We gonna lose Nightcrawler? We gonna kill Jean? That happens every 2 weeks. Like,
Morph was here for 30 minutes before.
30 minutes before he got bodied. And then Storm was like, you can't leave your family. She goes, girl, what did you just do?
Yeah.
Get out my face.
Like,
I'm out here.
And then she was wearing Gambit's jacket. The
Gambit's jacket in her old school outfit.
I love the villain outfit. And that villain outfit fighting Wolverine is a cover of like an iconic comic from that era. So it literally made me go like, that's an Easter egg for just us. Like just people that are invested enough to know like, that's a cover I love. And they crushed.
I also loved then the dynamic that you got, because Rogue didn't really pull her punch. Like she still loves them, but she didn't pull her punches when they were fighting. But you saw like Sunspot, who was like, yeah, I'm angry. He threw one thing at Jubilee and he goes, oh, are you okay? And she's like, motherfucker. He was like, wait.
Scampers off.
It literally felt like to me, just and this I'm sure happens in other instances, in other communities and whatnot, but it literally feels like a black dude that like did something wrong, and then a sister like is like, I ain't playing with your and like it. Black Panther. Yeah. It reminded me literally
Shuri moment
of like with the Rhino and everything, where he was like, I'm gonna, and then she was like, okay, well the Rhino rolls with me, so your ass going to prison. Get about my face. Well, so
and I do like how it very similar again to the movies. I think this is what they did that was very smart in this, was that for people who didn't know the original animated series and maybe they just knew the movies and they were, all right, I'm going to check this out. You start to relate it, as I said, the essence of Magneto recruiting people and that whole scene when Rogue and what's Sunface, isn't it?
Sunspot.
Yeah. And then
Sunface.
Yeah, Sunface. So Sunface goes, they both go with them. And even when Sunspot and Jubilee at the end, they've had this whole relationship the entire time, and he's like, "Oh wait, listen, I'm sorry." She's like, poof, and they're battling, and it kind of gave me that Civil War feel.
Yeah, because you get where they're coming from. Yeah, and like in the Civil War, you understand where both sides' perspective are because it's written well. Like you know why Magneto's right, and you know why the X-Men would also side with Xavier.
And it also reminded me a lot of the 2000 X-Men movie, a lot of it, because even when on that train, when you think that Magneto wants Wolverine, but he really wants Rogue, and then Wolverine stands up to him, and Magneto just picks him up because he's got the metal in his body,
throws him.
And then how this episode ends, where you think it's like a double. Oh man, did Wolverine just kill Magneto?
And Uno reverse card.
And then the question is,
call a hospital, but not for me.
Yeah, he just like Wolverine. They ain't gonna kill Wolverine, but it's
they might. I'll put it to you this way: they may, but it's just the idea that, because it's comics, because we've dealt with time travel, things like that. Because I don't think that we've seen the end of Gambit. I think that you're going to see Gambit in one or two ways. He'll either appear as the Horseman of Death. I think Apocalypse might do something to bring him back when they bring Apocalypse back into it. Or you will end up, because again, we've been dealing with time, you might end up with time shenanigans. What I would prefer happens is that we don't see Gambit until late in the second season, and that's because we find out that he is revived in some form or fashion, either Sinister, Apocalypse, whoever, and then Rogue goes on a quest to essentially save the soul of Gambit, because he's...
I could see the Horseman element, and I think that I don't think Wolverine's going to die. I think he's going to go feral. I think he gets his adamantium ripped out, and basically we're going to get a next season with Wolverine like in the woods. Like I think he'll just be removed in like
so
the
excited
feral
for
little.
Bone Claw.
Because I hate the bone claws.
Why?
Because
I do too.
Wolverine as a character got turned into a weapon, right? His power was healing and animal instincts. In life, a human being does not have bones there, so it makes more sense that a weapon would be added to him that is literally knives between his things. If you're turning someone into a weapon by making them invulnerable by adding adamantium, why would there already be bones there to cover an adamantium versus putting
Did he have
knives?
bone, bone claws in the comic too?
He did.
He did like 40 years into his run. Like they added it like 35
After the
years into
movies?
his run.
Once the adamantium was ripped out, they then retconned it and explained, well, actually
He's got
another
claws
one of his
anyway.
mutations he has claws, which is why I was like, I'm very surprised that you're taking the stance in the fact that if they're coating his skeleton, if those bone claws were always a part of his skeleton, then that would make perfect
bone claws
sense.
doesn't make sense from a
He's a
genetics-
mutant.
Yeah, but if you add knives, that makes way more sense than having
Sure.
bone claws.
He's
Logic.
a mutant.
I get that, but like, why? If there are knives in his hands, you put metal in his body. Why wouldn't it
I
make sense
understand-
to be like add knives?
I understand both sides of the argument.
You know what I'm saying?
To me, it's
I do.
add knives is
I do.
logic. Bone claws is like, why did he have claws?
Because when you said what you said about your entire argument, I'm like, yeah, Coy, and then
you're like, Winston's like-
but when you're like, yeah, they would kind of map his whole body. I'm like, yeah, Winston. So I didn't know.
And the answer to that question, Coy, is the most indestructible metal, at least at the time, on the planet. So if that's the case, then like his bone claws ain't getting through a steel door.
Yeah.
Adamantium claws will get through a steel door.
But I'm saying from a logic standpoint, if you're gonna make something into a weapon, you would add weaponry to it, like they shouldn't have done with Deadpool, like the Baraka claws.
Sure.
Well, look,
It makes sense to add knives.
unfortunately, this argument's irrelevant.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Audience, let us know how relevant this is in the comments below. It's like we're out of time, guys.
we're supposed to be talking about the episode. We out here
yeah,
debating.
but that's fine.
We'll find out next week if there's bone claws.
Nerds.
That's true. That's real.
So either way, what happens in this episode sets it up for the finale, like the actual finale of it. Now, what goes down in it and how it's obviously they're gonna do another season.
Yeah, it's already written.
Is it X-Men 98? Is that what they're gonna call it?
I think it'd be fun to do X-Men and get to I think it'd be fun if it was. I think it might be bad for SEO, but I think it'd be clever if it was a year
but
later.
they're probably to stick with X-Men 97
I
because it all takes
assume.
place in the same year, whatever.
Probably.
I mean, a lot's happened in the last.
Yeah. What also happened with Jean Grey, by the way, because you don't really see it, right? You just see Kate.
It's implied that she died at the hands of Cable, and it would be very funny considering Rogue just like, what, Jean gonna die again?
Yeah,
Like that would
and then she
actually
dies.
be really funny if that happened, but I have a feeling that she's fine. She may have probably gotten like knocked out by Cable or something like that, but I don't
Gotta see a body in comics. I didn't see a body.
I didn't see body, so I think she's fine.
I mean, I think it's obvious we get Onslaught next week. Like the helmet and like.
I kept saying that. I don't think narratively that makes sense because you're either just gonna make Onslaught a 10-minute villain.
No, it's cliffhanger.
But that's so I
season
think
2 was written.
So I think that Onslaught is, if we don't get a post credit, the very last image.
I think it's
like,
a minute of Onslaught, not 10 minutes and he's gone.
I don't even think it's a minute. I think you remember the end of season 1 of the animated series where Jean and Scott are like on the beach talking like, oh, what if our kid's born a mutant? No, we'll love him anyway. And then it's like, oh, Sinister knows what your
flash.
future holds. Like that
a
whole
line of dialogue,
Yeah.
and that's very Saturday morning cartoon. I'd like if the season ended with a Saturday morning cartoon villain appearance.
So either way, I think it's doing very well for Disney Plus, and it also has definitely gotten people excited for X-Men. Like, I don't think people were never not excited, but they were just kind of out of the.
I've never seen it like this.
Yeah, and
This
it's-
feels like the 90s, but with a
because-
modern connectivity.
Well, here's the only reason I would say the only time I've seen it like this, more mainstream, was around between 2000 and 2004. Because those two movies.
You're specifically talking X-Men.
I'm talking about X-Men.
X-Men and X-Men 2 were huge.
I'm talking about how like they were really responsible for getting like the interest back into the and because Bryan Singer took those movies pretty serious. It wasn't just kind of goofy characters. It was a real story.
I just think the connectivity of how many people are like wearing it.
Yes.
And, like there's a visual element.
I agree with you. It's people are excited about it more so than they've been excited for a Marvel thing in quite a bit. But it just shows you that when you look at those movies that came out, the one that Simon Kinberg did and those other ones that just didn't hit the mark, that it wasn't. And it proves a larger thing actually. So when a movie doesn't do it, you look at, and I always use Terminator as an example. So Terminator, the last movie that did, was the last few have been terrible. The last couple Jurassics, even though they made money, not good. The last few Transformers, okay, and people or G.I. Joe, and people go, yeah, we don't need. No one cares about those. We don't want to see it. No, you don't want to see bad versions of them.
Same as the comic argument. It's the same as this like fatigue. It's about quality. It's like you don't want mediocre films. You want good in the genre.
Right.
It's not that the genre is tired because X-Men shows that. It's we're tired of the genre feeling tired. We're tired of like a bad version of it. Right. So I think like we've talked about Terminator coming back small budget. I'd be there in a heartbeat.
A24 Terminator.
To imagine.
Please.
But I will not be at Terminator 7 if it stays.
Right, the way it is.
I think what it ultimately comes down to is it really feels like a lot of the projects that we've gotten in the superhero space have not felt like there was passion in them.
Yeah.
It honestly just felt like this is how we make money. And the more that you get that to it, the less people are going to be inclined to care. Because if you look at the ones that have been successful, it is very clear that Holland, Zendaya, that
John Watts clearly loves Spider-Man.
Loves Spider-Man and they put everything into. You could see it in Toby. You could see it in Andrew. Andrew was so excited to be back, and you could tell.
Lord and Miller, man, like the Spider-Verse, like those guys love this.
Absolutely, Gunn and the Guardians movies.
Right.
He clearly loves them.
I'll give you another one: Wes Ball and this new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Right, so you're going to get people, and I would say it's kind of like 82, 83%. I think is low, and because my thing is, I feel there's going to be, and I think this is a way we take in content in general. I think there's going to be some people in the same way that people thought for like Andor that it was a slow burn, it was boring. I liked how they set up the world, and you could tell how much Wes Ball took, no pun intended, the ball from Matt Reeves from that last franchise, and he ran with it. And that to me, and you can tell he had passion for it, and didn't seem like, well, this doesn't seem like anything like this would evolve from anything at all. And it's because when people care about the actual characters and they're not just putting on a spectacle going, this is going to make money.
Yeah.
And people will just shove popcorn in their face. And I'm not saying that those types of movies aren't necessary. Kong versus Godzilla is a perfect example of that, right? It never presented itself as anything except a wrestling match.
Which is 100%.
Totally fine.
But that
when you presented it as itself, when you presented it like that.
And it made money.
That in and of itself is a different type of passion. It may not be an artistic passion, but it is a passion of, I'm going to put on the best wrestling match I possibly can.
Right. And not lying to the audience.
Right.
And not inside of that saying, well, look, there's just going to be this evolved story, and you're going to care about the humans in this, and you're really going to care about what they're doing, and it's going to lead to this, and you're going to care about all of it. It's like, no, you're going to see these two running on the beach like Rocky and Apollo in Rocky 3, and then Kong's going to ride on Godzilla, and you're going to love it. And that's all it is.
It sounds weird, and I'm not out here in these streets being like, let's just start killing off main characters, but I needed like, oh my God, why can't I all of a sudden not remember?
Gordon Ramsay.
No. Quantumania. Why all of a sudden can I not remember the original Ant-Man's name? What is wrong with
Paul Rudd?
No.
Michael Douglas?
Yes, Michael Douglas'
Michael
character.
Douglas.
Sam Jones?
The character, what is wrong? Hank Pym, Jesus
Hank
Christ.
Pym?
Hank Pym. Hank Pym of the Godzilla franchise. The whole time I was like, who in Godzilla is Michael Douglas playing?
You should.
I was having a time.
Hank Pym hanging out in the strip club.
It could have been. If you take out Hank Pym, honestly, if you take out any of those main characters, like all of a sudden now Kang is a real effing threat type situation. Now I go, oh Jesus, this is like, it felt like because the ant saved him and he was still able to get up, it didn't feel like there were stakes by the time it was over.
If you don't watch it, doesn't change the MCU.
It doesn't, and so that's the thing. There were it felt like there were no stakes.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe is a large part the problem. If a movie is not only, we've seen a number of just not good projects, but then also no stakes, then it's like, why do I care?
Well, if you like steaks, let me tell you about Omaha Steaks. No, I don't have Omaha Steaks.
Oh, I'm so excited. I was excited, actually.
But I'll tell you what, if someone send that to Omaha Steaks and show you, they should sponsor the show, because like that Omaha Steaks, and I saw your new picture that you had. I want it. Okay, but I will tell you this. All right, guys, let's talk about AG1. You guys know I love AG1. If you've been listening to my show, you've heard me talk about them, and I've been drinking them for about 2 years now, and I love it. Never been a vitamins guy. I've told you that. I take it all one shot, AG1. I put it in a water bottle. I shake it up. I'm good to go. I recommend AG1 to my friends. I recommend AG1 to my family. Everybody. AG1 is a team of doctors and scientists. It is tested for 950 contaminants and NSF certified for sport. It is formulated based on the latest science and maintains high quality standards. You guys know they've been with us for a while because you guys know too. You've all been checking them out, and everybody who's been signing up to AG1 says the same thing. It's changed your energy. It's changed how you approach things in the day. You're smiling more. You're running around the place, and you're sleeping better. I know. AG1 is the supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily. And that's why they've been a partner for so long. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and you get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. Check it out. Rocket Money. I've been telling you guys about Rocket Money forever because there's a lot of times that you forget about these subscriptions and you either pay twice for it, you didn't realize it, you sign up for a thing and you're like, oh, I'll do that first free month, and then it's gone. Your money's gone every month. Did Rocket Money do what you wanted them to do for you when you signed up? Because it did it for me. I had all these subscriptions and I was like, oh, and it lists it out and it says, don't do that. You don't need these. It tells you how much money you have that you've spent in the month. It tells you, it gives you your credit score. It gives everything. I mean, Rocket Money for me is the way to go. It's a personal finance app. And it finds and it cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and it helps lower your bills, which is the best. So you can grow your savings because Rocket Money has over 5 million users and it's saved a total of 500 million, saving members up to $740 a year. So don't waste money. Cancel your unwanted subscription and go on over to rocketmoney.com/bigthing. rocketmoney.com/bigthing. All right. Thank you to our sponsors over at AG1 and Rocket Money. Really appreciate you guys for being with us. Love it. Love you guys. And as I say each and every time, if you want to help out the show, and a lot of you have been, you said, okay, fine, I'm going to help out the show. I'm going to try this and get something for yourself. All right, let's move on. Another topic. Here we go. All right, Coy, go ahead. Plug your YouTube channel.
Oh, there's the official plug. If you head over to my YouTube, Coy Jandro, it's my name, spelled as my name. I did a 12-minute breakdown basically describing the comic influences in this suit, the visual representation, as well as what I think is happening in the background, as well as how this tone of an image is different than the Snyder announcement or the Reeve announcement or the Routh announcement. So a full breakdown of all the above. And it's my first video to actually make money. So I feel like a certain pride. So check it out.
I'm just kidding. I wasn't recording that.
God damn it.
So, no, what I will say, though, about that suit, when we talked about it on Monday, at first when I saw it, when I was looking at that picture, I'm like, oh, this guy, this I'm a lazy ass. Here he is sitting on his...
That's not what I interpreted.
I'm like, he's sitting on his couch and things are blowing up in the background. Like, I guess we got to do this again. But then when you start looking at what it really means, it means it's another day at the office.
Yeah, it feels like, I love how Americana it is. Yeah. But the internet thought a lot of that, and they didn't look a second time.
No.
I literally, my first thought was, I mean, like, these they got in trouble again. I immediately was like, that's amazing.
I'm stopping this. If the both of you
don't stop slapping the desk,
slapping this desk.
What would you like me to stop more? Slapping the desk or swearing? You can have one.
No, I can have both.
Like this, you're like,
no promises. No promises. My brain.
I'll tell you what. Let's do the slapping. Okay. Because then I'll beep your ass.
I'm gonna sit like this, like it's cold. I'm gonna sit in a whole don't slack the table.
No. I literally just thought. Think about where we are right now as a society, right? In that, like, everything seems exhausting.
Yep.
An election, war times, media is crazy, people scared of AI. What that felt like you said, the day at the office is like, I gotta get up and do this.
Oh yeah.
Again.
He's also burnt, like, if you look at the image, he's also been in battle already. Like the outfit, I think he's the top half is the old outfit, and he's putting on new boots. I think he got messed up, and it's like, all right. To me, this is like firefighter energy. This is like, all right, well, I got to do my job, and it's been rough today.
Also, let me just throw this out there. People being like, Superman would do that at super speed. Okay, so he would have already had the boot on. Do you understand that in this particular case, because it's a still image, maybe somebody caught him mid super speed?
It's still actively doing it.
He still has to put his boot on.
Only effeminate men put on boots.
Or It's a promotional image.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with anything, or nothing to do with anything.
It's a promotional image to just say. I mean,
It's not a scene from the movie. Everyone's acting like it's a 30-second scene of him ignoring the world outside.
I didn't read any of that stuff. Right?
What a gift.
Because of that, it's like the only thing is that I thought people were looking at is going, do you like the suit? And the thing is, some people probably it does seem a little bit more so around like the Henry Cavill suit than more the traditional suit. And I went, I was kind of hoping to see like the old traditional suit, but I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in motion, much less.
Right.
Let alone the image it inspires for me, which was both serious but hilarious, was The Incredibles. Woman, where's my super suit?
Right, it's that super suit
that
energy.
literally feels like, oh, Jesus, okay, he's still Superman.
Yeah.
Sure, a building is about to explode. I bet you he catches all of the people in it anyway.
If that's even in the movie.
I agree with you. I just, it for me, it immediately taps into Frozone being like, Jesus, where is
sure.
my...
I mean, yeah, we're all on the same page with that, for sure. It's just a matter of the suit is what was meant.
The image is shared for.
That's what he was doing it for. He's like, and you can see James Gunn going, hey, you know what'd be cool? We'll put something in the background, like, because we know who our villain is, and we'll have this whole thing going on, and then it'll be like another day at the office, and he's putting his boot on, and we'll just for this particular thing, but that's how we'll reveal the suit. And
The internet goes like, why is this Superman lazy?
Because we can't have fun.
if I'm James Gunn, I quit.
Yeah, no.
If I'm James Gunn, we don't release anything else until the movie's out.
It's like, but he same thing. But it's a matter of because you tune in that point. What are they saying about the suit? You know that people are not everybody's gonna be on the same page. People, and I think that's you open yourself up for that criticism right away whenever you come up with the suit. Like
Whenever you do
Spider-Man
anything.
suits, but remember
the scale.
But the Spider-Man suits, like when they would come in, it was always the big topic conversation. What do we think about the suit?
Yeah.
And we'll see what we think about this suit. And that is, to me, the valid conversation. Like, and I think if you don't like the suit because you think this, I think that's fair to say. If you say like, well, Superman wouldn't be doing this. You don't even know if it's in the movie. So,
Right.
So that makes
That's
no sense.
preposterous.
Yeah.
Look, man, with great power comes great trollability. And at this particular point, no matter what you do, even if it is the greatest superhero movie we have ever seen,
Right.
people are going to crap on it because that's just what we do now, which is a sad state of affairs.
Well, I also think it's because there's a loyal thing that people feel is a loyal thing to Zack Snyder.
Which and that's its own other conversation,
Right.
but you could take it outside of Superman. If, like, say for example, we haven't done Static Shock yet. Let's not even go into a hero that's already done a movie. Like, say if they rebooted Iron Man, you get the same thing. Well, Robert Downey or nothing.
Right, of course.
Let's just take Static Shock. No matter what happens, even if it is exactly to the T as the animated series or his original comic or anything like that, people are going to complain because that's just where we're at.
I mean, you go back to the one that always everyone brings up is you look at Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
People lost their minds.
Literally lost them.
When Heath Ledger was cast. Same with Michael Keaton. And then for a very long time, no one can do it except Heath Ledger. No one can do it except Michael Keaton.
I'm enjoying the next 2 weeks because I give it a week after it airs. I'm enjoying the next 2 weeks while we're still enjoying X-Men 97 until the overhyped buzz takes over. Because that's inevitable. I know the second week of June, it'll be the most hated thing on the internet. But right now, I'm enjoying myself.
I've literally thought to myself when I saw The Dark Knight that the speech that Heath gives to Two-Face, he's like, say they're gonna blow up a hospital, everybody loses their little minds. Yeah. I feel like he was channeling when he got cast in that monologue.
Right.
We're like, tell everybody that the guy from Knight's Tale is gonna be the Joker, they're gonna lose their minds.
Right.
Like they just I could feel him putting that energy in there of like,
I imagine how bad it would have been today.
it would have been horrible because social media wasn't even really at its anything what it
Twitter
was
wasn't
gonna be.
a thing.
Twitter wasn't a thing. It was just Facebook
and
at that
MySpace.
point. Yeah.
I think MySpace was still around then.
MySpace was on its way out. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
People are changing their song and writing a little message, and it's got hearts, but not like Twitter where it's just rage.
But so what's the actual breakdown on the costume itself?
So the costume, if you cut to it, the collar is from the New 52. The way the cowl is mounted is New 52. The chest piece is from Kingdom Come, but it's got the old Fleischer edging around the side. Fleischer being the 40s cartoon, so it's a mix between Kingdom Come and Fleischer. And then what I really like is obviously we got the trunks back, but this whole dynamic reads like a mix
from there.
Yeah, see the belt, and then there's red next to the blue.
I can barely see that, and it's not even because I'm blind. You really just
Oh,
went
I
in there
went
and
at
you
it.
just
I went-
inspected.
yeah, so
you put your face in it, huh?
I wanted to. I mean, good for he's 6'6". It's about the right level. That's about where I'm at. But I think it's like a next.
Cornswood is 6'6".
Yeah, he's a tall dude.
What the f?
Yeah, he's the tallest Superman they've ever cast.
Wow.
And I think like he's usually a skinny dude.
Yeah.
So the fact that he put on 40 pounds of muscle and he walks around skinny at 200 pounds. So that's like a 240 pound man. That's a
That-
big dude.
Man.
So
6'4".
6'4". Hey, look, no, hold on. Go back to that page. It said 6'6" right next to it.
Right.
If you go back to that image, look, 6'6" right there over the image.
Yeah, but that's someone who's wrong.
Oh, okay. I guess I too am wrong along with Google.
He's 6. I mean, 6'4"
is a giant
6'4"
dude.
ain't
Still
small.
huge.
Yeah, he's still the
He's not
tallest.
6'6" though. 6'6" is like,
When you see people that
6'6" is literally
Above Elk Road.
Wasn't that Jordan?
hey, you didn't once come in here and say, "How about those Knicks?"
Yeah. Why
Come
would
on,
I?
because why not? Give me some props. They've been stinking up the joint for 25 years. 2-0 over the Pacers. Come on, man.
Yeah, but I just look. The Pacers are significantly better, but like, let me see what you do against Boston. That's really what I want to see.
We ain't there yet.
we
I
talk
know.
about
I
tall
just-
guy, all of a sudden I'm lost
We've
in red
gotten past the
sports.
first round last time. Let's get past the second round. Come on, man.
The only thing that's honestly really interesting is that Anthony Edwards is destroying Denver right now.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The actor Anthony Edwards.
No, he's moving. He's moving away from the Knicks when I tried to bring up.
It's not because I don't want to. I would love for the Knicks to like go the distance. I would actually be super. I would prefer the Mavericks, obviously, but I would love for them to go the distance. We'll stay on this for about another 10 seconds. Denver looked unstoppable
sure.
and they're getting smacked around.
Yeah, but the Knicks are.
Superman would be great at basketball.
Yeah. Anyway, so what did that have to do with Superman? Nothing.
They're all tall?
But I had to remember it because you got to give me that, guys. It's been years. You don't understand. This is coming from the Patrick Ewing, John Starks days, and like I have not been excited to watch basketball in a very long time, and this team has done it for me. So I apologize for jumping off the highway.
You would know. What city is Metropolis supposed to be?
It's kind of like a mix between Chicago and New York.
That's what I thought. Because Gotham is technically New York, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's Gotham proper, New York. Yeah.
Okay, but then so
But
Metropolis.
technically, Metropolis is in the Midwest, which always throws me off. Like
But
when you
not
look at it on the
Donner.
map,
In the Donner version, it's straight up New York.
it's New York. And that's why I think it's become New York because
Right.
Donner's so much
Yeah.
of what Superman
which
is
I
now.
guess was then the weird thing about like Batman v Superman, because in my mind, Metropolis and Gotham were not next door.
Dude, they're literally
so to be across the
they're
river
across
is
a
weird.
river from each other in the comics, which is so weird. Which means Gotham is also like in the Midwest.
So then I was like, so then one of you is Jersey.
Yeah,
Like,
effectively.
what,
Right.
like, which
Like
one of
Metropolis
you is
might be Jersey.
My
And then-
favorite Fred Armisen thing back in the day when he played the mayor. He's like, New Jersey. And he was like, what's that smell? New Jersey.
Gotham, definitely Gotham of the
Anyway.
two.
Okay. So look, we got into a lot of stuff there. I'm not going to pretend that, like I said, that it doesn't seem like, hey, what's the pilot on right now? Red Bull and, sugar and cocaine. That literally is what it feels like, and I understand that. And so, if in the middle of a really good conversation about a Superman suit, you bring up the New York Knicks being up 2-0 in the
That's
playoffs.
because this never happens. I don't blame you.
Yeah, but normally I would say let's do that off air. But my brain right now is saying
You
say
deserve
whatever you
happiness.
say whatever you want.
no.
I enjoy peanut butter and chocolate ice cream. All right, moving on to the
Hey,
next.
hey, man, look, you're moving to New York, all right?
Yes.
It seems that, like, apparently the world is healing because you are now going home, so the Knicks are good.
Right.
Who knows what
Yankees
else
are
might
doing
happen?
better. Yankees
the
are doing
Yankees
all
are
right.
doing a little better. Like
You're gonna be around so
everything-
much pizza.
I know.
So jealous.
Yeah, my cholesterol won't be happy about that. But there's a where I'm moving. 3 minutes when you guys come visit.
Yeah.
3 minutes from my place is like it's got a pretty high score from Barstool.
Dave? Yeah. Okay.
And I've had it. And It's
Okay.
fantastic.
I'm excited.
I went and I stopped. It was like, I think they opened up at like 11 a.m. And I was like sitting outside at like 10:55 when I was there, and I just sat down and I was in bliss.
Dude, the Prince Street in the Valley is not bad, but it's no New York.
Yeah, and you can get what you get here.
Yeah.
and that's fine. Anyway, let's get to
What an episode.
What a great episode, and I think people are gonna like the chaos of it too. All right, Vessi shoes. No, we don't have Vessi today. We don't have Vessi. No, but I do want to tell you about pens. Pens are good. Okay, moving on. Let's get to
We haven't had this energy on the show in a long time. I think now that everything is coming down,
Yeah.
it's just it's
It's time.
weird.
I can
Yeah.
genuinely say I don't know what's coming next. And I like
No,
that.
we don't
don't
know.
either.
You
Wow.
don't know. Okay. There's a new rumor that is claiming that Ryan Coogler has now signed on to helm a third Black Panther movie. But Marvel Studios also wants him to direct the X-Men reboot. Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever director Ryan Coogler has always said that he'd be more than happy to stay on board the franchise and return to helm a third film, and a new rumor is claiming that he's signed on to do just that. However, Marvel Studios might be eyeing the filmmaker for another upcoming MCU project. According to My Time to Shine Hello, the studio wants Coogler to take the helm of the planned X-Men reboot. This follows a previous rumor that a person of color was being sought for the project, and we have heard that Barry Jenkins might also be on Marvel's radar. Wakanda Forever served as a fitting tribute to T'Challa and the late Chadwick Boseman, while establishing Shuri as the new Panther and introducing an entire aquatic civilization. The mid-credits scene also featured the debut of T'Challa's son, who will almost certainly take over as Wakanda's king and protector someday. So it's fair to say that the movie set up quite a few things that could potentially be explored in a future sequel. During a 2022 interview with New York Times, Coogler admitted that he'd be glad to stay on as long as folks will have me. As for X-Men, a writer is expected to be announced soon, and we'd have no problem believing that Kevin Feige and company would want a director of Coogler's caliber to bring the mutant heroes back to the big screen, though that doesn't necessarily mean he'd be interested. Coogler is currently shooting his untitled vampire movie starring Michael B. Jordan and is also producing a number of Disney Plus MCU projects as well as an X-Files reboot. If he has indeed signed on to direct Black Panther 3, he may think twice about addressing another massive franchise to his already stacked workload. Okay. I'll tell you this. I don't think I'm gonna bring any fans in by saying this. If you told me what I'd rather have him do, X-Men all day.
Over Black Panther?
X-Men all day. For the same reason I want to see Matthew Vaughn move away and do other things, right? Ryan Coogler brought Black Panther to life. He brought this iconic character that meant so much to so many people, and he brought him to life. There was only so much you could do with that second movie in the circumstances that he was put in. And he did a really, it's not fair that, and I think the movie's okay, right? I think it's okay. But I think it's masterful for what he was able to do in the amount of time after losing your main star and what was going on at that time to, hey, you got to do this and we got to get that movie out. It was announced. And he's like, all right, hold on. And he came up with a great version considering how much time he had. People forget, like, there's been a Star Wars movie since 2019.
Yeah.
And they still can't figure it out.
4 years.
And he got it out,
It was 4 years after Black Panther, right? So it was like a year after.
It came out in 2022.
2022, and then the original came out in 2018. But remember,
So like
but when did Chadwick pass?
We lost Chadwick and
We lost Chadwick in 2020.
Right.
So, 2 years.
So
That's
he had about
insane.
2. Right. So he had
Less because the movie came out in November. Chadwick died in like September/August. So you did it in about 18 months.
he did it in 18 months, give or take. Right. That itself is such a task. And so the movie itself, the way that they set it, they made the choice, and we had this debate many times over whether you're going to recast or not, and they didn't. I think a third movie with what they set up, I don't know how many people are going to be excited for it. I think you can still get it to be really good. With now, you're going to have a lot more time to put it in, and what he did in 18 months, he's going to have years to do, and he'll probably come up with a great version of it. But I want to see him move on. I want to see him do something else. Not to say don't do a third Black Panther movie, do a third one, but have Ryan Coogler do something else. Bringing him in to bring in the X-Men forward all day. This guy is a fan of the stuff he's doing, and he puts the effort into it, and he revitalized the Rocky franchise. He brought Black Panther to life. X-Men all day. But that's my take on it. What do you think?
I would actually rather see him finish out Black Panther because I'm assuming that if you're doing that, not that the character or Wakanda goes away, but you're wrapping up this trilogy. I would rather him finish the story that he has now been telling in 2 films and get that done. And if you could only have one, obviously I would love for him to do X-Men. I just also know that there are other great directors that could do it, which is why I would rather him finish it out. And then you don't need to, like, you can just be executive producer and name on Black Panther stuff going forward and call it a day. For me, it's just the MCU as a whole obviously has been great, but each of these individual franchises have been like, I would like to see him finish.
I think it's a fair point. The only thing, though, we're bringing in a new director. to X-Men, right? This is a guy that knows how the MCU machine works.
Absolutely.
And you're bringing these beloved characters that we just had the conversation, very important characters moving forward. This is a guy who knows the machine, who could put it out there, as where Black Panther is an established franchise right now and could benefit, and someone can come in and learn from the ropes.
Then I would rather see, honestly, they keep bringing up Barry Jenkins. I would love that. Put in Barry Jenkins, and if you want, you have Coogler in the Disney family. He can consult as much as you need him
As
to.
Black Panther, you mean? Yeah.
Like, so, no, I'm saying let Coogler finish Panther. Let Barry take over X-Men, because he is more than proven he can handle subject matter, especially like obviously he won his Oscar for Moonlight.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the othering, the trying to hide, the trying to fit into society, Barry can do that all day.
Right.
And if the concern is just, well, what about doing superhero stuff, et cetera, again, you have such a strong roster of directors still in your belt that if you need to call Ryan and be like, yo, what do you think about this? You could do that.
Sure.
I got a hot take.
Yes.
Go for it.
I think Barry, between the two, Barry for X-Men, because of everything you just said, but also because he's in the Disney family, but he's not made something in this genre before. And if he wants to, I love his passion for it. At CinemaCon, he came out and he just did like a 20-minute speech about his love of the movie theater, because he used to be an usher. And I was immediately like, anything you do, I'm watching, because I was an usher. And he talked about it with such a passion of like companionship for ushers and now making movies and all this stuff. And I was like, if you bring 1/10 of that passion to X-Men, like that'll be my jam. So the hot take isn't that. My hot take is I would rather Ryan Coogler do something outside of IP. I really love Fruitvale Station.
Yeah.
I think Creed is the best reboot I think we've ever had. I think Creed is, because it's the impossible. It's revitalizing Rocky, which had to hit rockiness.
And leaving Rocky in there.
And leaving Rocky, but also starting a new franchise. So I think the cinematic world could benefit from Ryan Coogler doing stuff outside of IP again. And he's already, it feels like to me.
Rocky is an IP.
Yeah, but he's done two. Like he's given us two
You're
brand
saying
new
he's
worlds.
already done it already.
He's
So
done
you're
Let's
saying
see what
something
he's-
completely original.
exactly.
Well, that's what he's doing with this vampire thing.
movie.
I think the vampire movie was Blade. I think he pitched them Blade and they didn't like it. Now he's doing his own. That movie feels like Blade so hard.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it
I don't know enough about what it's supposed to be.
Why? I don't know, man.
I feel like he pitched a version that didn't work out because maybe him and Mahershala didn't see it the same way. And then he's like, because Mahershala is very hands-on, and they had how many drafts? The timing is crazy. That movie was in production forever.
That's not
it
crazy.
didn't
It's
go
not
for,
crazy
and
theory.
now there's like a very Michael B. Jordan looking daywalker out there.
It's not a crazy theory.
Because we also heard it was like set in the past. We also heard it was set in other countries. And then I see this
Right.
Coogler movie, and I'm like,
But look, so here's the thing, though. Would you, even though, regardless of what you felt about, did you watch Rebel Moon 1 and 2?
I tried this. I watched the first one. I couldn't get through the second.
Okay. So regardless, you would agree that that's original IP, right?
100%.
It was a Star Wars
idea.
pitch.
100%.
So this
But he has
vampire-
more freedom, like Zach does. Zach has more freedom on Rebel Moon than he would have if he was under the Disney thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no argument that he's going to have more freedom on the vampire.
That's why I think he did it.
Well, yeah. But he is doing something outside of the original
Right.
IP.
And if this does well, I'd rather see him get to. I
do
just
more
want him
of
to have
that.
freedom.
My whole thing is
you
want him to do what Nolan's doing.
He's earned the Nolan, like he made $1 billion movie go play.
But here's the difference between the two. I think that, if Ryan Coogler is also a very young man still.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And not that Nolan's like in his 50s or something like that.
But Coogler's like 30 something.
He's in his mid 30s.
He's like 35, I
He's
think.
young. He's young. So
It's crazy.
he's
He was
got
20 something making Black Panther.
he's got the energy
Yeah.
to do this, make a even bigger name for himself as he's been doing, make some cash.
Yeah. It's just when we read that rundown, producing Marvel,
Yeah.
doing a third Marvel.
He's
it's
locked into
just-
this right now.
Yeah.
But again, he's in his mid 30s. When he gets to a place where he's
You're
like,
not going to want to do that as an old man, I don't think.
he could say, I've done a lot of this stuff now. Now I'm going to go make my stuff, and he'll have a lot more clout to do it.
You know what? That actually convinces me. I would like to see a potential X-Men with him because I do think you're right. He can handle that workload because he is a young guy, and I do think his world building is second to none.
That's what I mean. Is that you have him bring it, you have him start it, and then he can
like he did with Creed.
That
I
he did
liked
with
Creed
Creed.
too a lot. I think we both agreed that like
I
the
like
world's
it better. I like it better every
know
time.
what?
I like it better than most people, and because he started a world that's so clean and fresh.
Yeah.
I got it. Barry Jenkins directs it. Ryan Coogler writes it.
Yeah, it's still there's something about the way that
His visual
it's his
eye.
visual eye.
I don't disagree, but like
And
how
casting.
much Barry stuff have you seen though? Like because Barry's visual eye too.
If Barry Jenkins winds up doing it, I'm not going to go. Damn it!
No,
Barry
I get it.
Jenkins
You're
is
just
awesome.
your preference is just Ryan. I get it.
Because he knows the world so well and he knows Marvel so well. It's because he's doing these TV shows.
And his shorthand with Kevin Feige seems incredible because
Yes.
of how much he got to make Black Panther his own.
I
That
know.
movie didn't feel like any studio interference.
Right, and I think he also knows what the fan base wants. He listens to the fan base while still doing his own thing.
He's got such a dedicated thing to what he wants to make.
Yeah.
Like you can feel that in the STEM program at the end of the movie. Like and not that Barry Jenkins doesn't.
No,
but-
he might be. Barry Jenkins might be a massive X-Men fan.
right. If he is,
So
that's
then who knows?
No. Let me also reiterate here. Ryan Coogler is my favorite director. Period. So like I know he would crush X-Men. It's just if you're asking me for the two, I would rather him close out his story that he's been helming than to just abandon ship, leave that to somebody else. Because what concerns me is that, yes, I don't think Wakanda Forever was as good as the OG Black Panther, but like you said, there was a bunch of mitigating circumstances that you can only do so much here.
For what he was given,
he absolutely crushed.
Right.
So to that point, I would like to just see him close out what he did versus leaving that to somebody else.
Right.
Because I like Creed 3, but I still think that, the first two were a little bit, because he didn't direct the third one, right?
no. Creed 3 was Michael B. Jordan.
No, that was Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan did that one.
He didn't direct
the
the second
second one either.
No.
So for me, it actually goes 1, 2, 3, honestly. And and I don't even that's not even a knock on Michael B. Jordan directing Creed 3. I thought he did a very, very good job.
I'm on the same page as you.
I just think that you could also tell that was a rookie director doing their thing, which they brought a lot of incredible stuff to it, but just what Ryan was meant to do was direct movies.
It's also a longer conversation, but it was definitely missing Rocky. Okay. So they tried to do it without him, and you felt it. Anyway, so what do you guys think overall with this Ryan Coogler news? Should he do X-Men? Are you glad he's doing a Black Panther 3? If that indeed is the case, go ahead, put your comments in there.
Can we talk about 1 second the scoop breaker, though? Was "This Is My Time to Shine"? Hello? I immediately heard that. I was like, wait a minute.
He's been killing it, dude. That's like one of the big ones.
That's a big one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That name, though,
it works and sings.
And it
That's
works. You
wild.
remembered it.
And that's how he's getting, like, he's got a scoop of name.
All right, let's move. It's my time to shine because I'm going to tell you about these two. All right, I love getting you guys good deals, and I got it. Roan. There's so much pain in trying to find what to wear, whether it's uncomfortable, it's tight, it's never your size, there's difficulty putting pieces together when all the fabrics are different textures. I know it happens to me all the time. You want to look good without having to think about it. Well, that's where Roan comes in. They stepped up to the challenge, everybody. They got the commuter collection. It's comfortable, it's breathable, and it's a versatile set of products known to man. They have products for every occasion, whether it's the most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos, blazers. They look great as individual pieces, and they work seamlessly together. Roan's signature 4-way stretch fabric, it's breathable, it's flexible, and it works everywhere from your commute to work to the 19th hole. It's time for unparalleled confidence without all the hassle. Roan's commuter collection features wrinkle release technology, and it is 100% machine washable, looking good. Is that easy? I'm telling you, I love this. They sent me some of this stuff, guys, and first of all, they have the kind of just relaxing casual stuff, but I needed a good pair of pants to go with my suit, and my goodness, I got some for me. I got some for Riley. We're looking slick. It is so great. The commuter collection is easy to care for also, by the way, and it stays fresh and it's odor-free. Just head over to roan.com/bigthing. Use that promo code BIGTHING. Save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you head to RHONE.com/BigThing. Use that code BIGTHING. It's time to find your corner office comfort. All right, you know what stinks? When you're stuck in a loop of rent payments, you're just watching your money vanish into thin air. It's the worst. It's time to turn the rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. How do you do that? That is where Built Rewards comes in. Built is breaking ground as the first rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Doesn't matter, even if you're rocking the old school rent check vibes, Built Rewards, it's got your back. They're going to mail the check for you. It's like basically having a personal rent paying assistant. It's the best. Every month, you pay your rent and you watch the points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points towards a flight or a hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/bigthing. That is joinbilt.com/bigthing. All right, thank you once again to our friends over at Roan and Built. Really appreciate them being on board. As I mentioned to you guys over and over and over again, how important it is. Our sponsors, like we will not be able to do. Thank you. We will not be able to do this show without them. And the fact when you guys, I don't think people realize that. I think some people do. Like,
what do you mean?
When they see a sponsor, they go, "Oh, well, they have sponsors. Then that's
not how it
they're
works.
good to go." It's like, well, no. What sponsors want to see, especially in the podcast world. And I actually I was in a conversation with somebody who was asking me in our circle, like, how do you get podcast revenue and what works? It's like it's different. Like traditional advertising, right? Traditional advertising is, hey, so and so wants to advertise on your show, and they're advertising on it. Here's X amount to do it, right? And then you go, okay, well, you got our views, you got your audience. Thank you for your business. See you later. In podcast revenue, it's like, no, you team up with people you think your audience is going to like, because the goal is you want them to say, okay, well, yeah, I want to get AG1 and I'm going to try AG1 today. And then they get it and AG1 goes, hey, on your episode, we saw like 20 people on that one episode got our product. They're listening to you.
Right.
We want to come back and we want more, because eventually when they don't come back and they don't re-up, you're done.
Goes away,
and then the show goes away.
Right.
So that's why when people do that, that's why it's so helpful. So I like to explain it, because not everybody understands.
It's not like TV at all.
No, they don't understand how it works. So it's like, so you are, when I tell you that you're helping out the show, getting something for yourself. That's what I mean. So hopefully that was clear. I think it was clear. Maybe not. Anyway, let's continue with the rumored director stuff. Here's another rumor about directors. Another rumor here, this time relating to Sony and Marvel's plans for a fourth Spider-Man movie. Could Aquaman director James Wan be in line to helm the project? Mark Cassidy. As Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios continue their search for a director to take over from John Watson's Spider-Man 4, a new rumor is claiming that both studios might be in agreement on a filmmaker to take the helm of the highly anticipated No Way Home sequel. According to My Time to Shine, hello, James Wan is one of the directors in the mix to helm the movie. Whether this means he's actually had discussions about boarding the project, not clear. Wan has previously directed the likes of The Conjuring, Malignant, Insidious, and both Aquaman movies for Warner Brothers. The Scoop is also claiming that Felicia Hardy, a.k.a. Black Cat, will make her debut in the movie. Felicity Jones played Hardy in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but never suited up as her costume alter ego. Anne Hathaway, who played Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises, was all set to debut as an earlier version of the character in Sam Raimi's fourth Spider-Man movie before the plug was pulled. Rumors aside, we still know very little about the Spider-Man 4 and how it's shaping up. Sony's Tom Rothman and Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige are believed to have some disagreements when it comes to overall plot, with the latter hoping to scale the multiverse elements back for a smaller story. Rothman, meanwhile, is said to want to capitalize on No Way Home's success by bringing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back as their respective takes on Peter Parker. Holland will, of course, return as the MCU's Spidey alongside Zendaya as MJ, but the actor is believed to be growing wary of playing the iconic hero, so this could be his final solo outing as the wall crawler, though he will almost certainly play a part in one of the event, or if not all, the Avengers movies. This is a tough one because you said the Scooper's usually on point,
Yeah.
but this could be one of those things. Hey, here's a list of the people that we think
It's
could be
one
good.
of 10.
It could be.
And it could just be because he's made superhero stuff. It could literally be as innocuous as, oh, a director that's familiar with the material.
Because if you look at what James Wan did with Aquaman 1 and 2, and I don't mean the quality of the movies, I'm talking about business. First one, $1 billion. The second one, this is a stinker. That movie, because of everyone was like, no one cares about the DCU anymore, no one cares this, and everybody. And like, I think that the second one was not a good movie. But it kept making money. Now, if it wound up making a profit, I have no idea, but it didn't lose them the kind of money that The Flash lost them.
It was the best of that era.
Money wise, yeah. And the fact that it had so many problems, and the fact that he had to go through a lot of struggles and bad publicity that he was going on with a lot of different, not from him, but the stuff that was going on in general, and he fought back to do it, that would put him on my list.
Yeah.
Do I think he's the right choice as a director for Spider-Man? I don't.
He's such a spectacle director generally. I know he's in a lot
Great
of
director.
smaller horror things. And I
great
like him as a
director.
director. I want to contain small Spider-Man.
Yes.
And I think the impetus was, if we do John Watts again, multiverse, if Kevin Feige gets the argument, it's going to be smaller, more contained. It seems like they're changing the director, implying that it's going to be smaller, more contained. I'd love a director that does, not that James Wan can't, I just haven't seen it. I want a director that does intimate filmmaking.
There's been so many rumors, Winston, of who. I know that like Sam Raimi was up for this. There's back and forth on the Tom Holland of it. Like, there's one that says that he is done with it, and then there's another quote from him going, no, this character's been great. I'd like to play him for as long as I can. Is James Wan the right guy for this one?
I've just been sitting in my head this whole time trying to come up with like a DJ drop for "This is my time to shine." Hello, like I feel like he needs that before
Right.
they need that
Scooper right now.
I know.
Look, I think they need to get straight what they're doing first.
Right.
I think that and maybe the directors are coming with the writers and trying to pitch what they want to do, but I think you need to decide if this is going to be a street level situation or if you're going to continue a kind of Spider-Verse-esque. We all, I think, are on the same page that we think it needs to go back to street level and just let Spider-Man be Spider-Man.
We all are except Sony.
Sony's the only
Everybody
one
is.
that's like, no. Like, because I think the other problem, too, there's a reason, for the kids that watch this, there's a reason why your parents don't let you eat candy 24/7. There is
If it's always big.
if it's always candy, one, candy's going to lose its luster, but also two, you'll get sick and you won't grow and blah, blah,
I think
blah.
that's the big MCU problem is if everything's an Avengers level event, nothing's an Avengers level event.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Feige's making the argument about. And it's like, but Sony wants that big spectacle movie because their stuff isn't working. And there was this other, they're thinking about doing a Spider-Gwen movie first. Like, get your other movies set up first. Do another freaking Tobey Maguire movie. Do another Andrew Garfield if you're contractually able to.
I like, because that's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with still building off of what you just did. There was clearly some success there, and people were like, "Oh my God, this is great." So, exactly, go back and let Andrew, go back and let Toby cook. I still go with the argument that if you really want to do that, then have almost like a Stanley and let's see what's going on in universe, blah blah blah, and give Toby 90-minute short film to like do whatever, and then a 90-minute short film to the Andrew universe so you can see both of them, and then you can go back to Tom. If you want to do it that way, I would rock with that. But like, do not force them all together again because you're going to lose the magic.
All right. So what do you guys think? Is James Wan the way to go here? Is the street level Spider-Man the way to go here? Put your comments in there. There's a lot of other things we could have talked about. We had a great conversation though. So we're going to leave it as that. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Again, thank you to anybody who has gotten the sponsors. Thank you to anybody who has contributed to that wish list. I cannot thank you enough. I'd like to thank both Winston and Coy. Coy, where can I find you?
Hunt me down on YouTube. I'm doing weekly comic book breakdowns. I read 50 to 60 comics a week, so you don't have to. I give you my top 9 and preview that week's comics. I also break down all the news, like that Superman video, and I'm trying to do movie reviews every week as well. So I'm going to see Apes today. That'll be up tomorrow after I edit for far too long.
That's what's up. You can find me also on the YouTubes over at the Swaggy Blurred. I've been doing my breakdowns of X-Men at 97 that people seem to really be enjoying getting in the conversation. I've also been doing...
They're really good.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. There's also been some like really good commentary I've been doing just about daily topics. I talked about the rap beef and specifically less about the bars because plenty of people that are better hip hop heads have, but I started talking about what the cultural impact has been on stuff like that. So that's a lot of the stuff that I'm doing over there, plus some jokes. So if you want to come see all that, come check me out.
Speaking of jokes, May 31st, if you're in town, head on over to the Comedy Store, man. I'm doing a going away show. I'm going to have some old friends that I used to do stand-up with come up and do a set. I'm going to be having a really fun time with Mark Ellis, who will be hosting the show. So make sure you come on by. Check it out. Links for that also in the description. All right. For Winston and Coy, see you later.